This was my flight from an airport called Demodedovo International Airport. Demodedovo International Airport is located in the capital city of Russia, which is Moscow. So I was flying to another city, which is 6 hours away from the capital city. Remember, it is still within Russia. So I flew from Demodedovo International Airport. The IATA code of this airport, it is DME. That's an IATA 3-letter code of the Demodedovo International Airport in Moscow, Russia. So I was flying to a region called Yakutsk. Yakutsk, as I told you, it is 6 good hours from Moscow. The Yakutsk International Airport, the 3 IATA letter code, it is YKS. YKS, Yankee Kilo Sierra. So this is Demodedovo International Airport. Most of the people who are here, they are Russians. So this airport is very big, but I managed to record some other areas. This is the dustbin, and now this is the passenger information display, very big. So time in Moscow and the time in Kenya or in East Africa, it is the same hour, but where I am flying, they are 6 hours ahead. So if it is 7 a.m. in Moscow, then it is 1 p.m. in Yakutsk. I was also told that Yakutsk, it is very cold. The temperature during the month of October, now this month that we have, it is -5 and -6. But in November, it will go to -22, -27, -30, until -40. So the temperature, if it is -40, then that is a very big problem, that it is very cold. You cannot walk without very big shoes, warm clothes. So it's a very big challenge. So come with me and watch the whole of this video. This was another passenger display. That is a passenger freight display. So there was a disabled passenger here. There were many people around. All these are Russians. Russian people, they are friendly, they are good, they are not racist. They welcome anyone who is coming to Russia. They don't look at you too much. Those are signs. There were some signs here. So the language which was used here was English and also Russian language, so that you can be able to understand. There was a lot of army here. There was a lot of people who were in this area. Nobody is looking at you. Nobody is stopping you from recording. These people, they were highly welcoming, and I really like the people of Russia. This is what we really need when you visit in a particular country. Actually, on this flight, I was the only African passenger on this flight. So I'm going to, this is the time, or it was my first time to fly an airline called S7 airline. S7 airline is a Russian airline which is operating here. So it was my first time to fly S7 airline. The aircraft type, it was Airbus 321 Neo from Moscow to Yakutsk, which took me 6 good hours. So my boarding time, it was 2100 at or 9 p.m. So I was supposed to arrive 9 a.m. in the morning. So I was like, what is the problem? I was told Yakutsk, it is 6 hours away from Moscow. So I was highly surprised. You start a flight on 9 p.m. in the same country. Again, you arrive 9 a.m. in the morning. It was terrible to me, but I came to realize that Yakutsk, it is 6 hours ahead of Moscow. So if you are in East Africa and you check your time, then you must be able to know that that time Yakutsk is ahead of you. So it was time for boarding. It was time for boarding, and we used a passenger bridge. So this airport is one of the developed airports. It is highly developed. So we used
time for boarding now.
we used a passenger. We used a jet bridge. In English, we call it a jet bridge,
From
or you can
Moscow
call
to
it
Yakutsk, 6 hours flight.
you can call it a passenger bridge. That's how it is being operated. The crew members, they were here. They were dressing black and
How are you?
white. So they checked my boarding pass and they allowed me to board. So this is business class. This is how it looks like.
5B.
And now that is economy class. For me, I had economy class. Okay. So this is S7 Airlines. S7 Airlines. This is S7 S7 Air.
How are you? B.
Дамы и господа, мы рады приветствовать вас на борту самолета авиакомпании S7 Airlines, участника альянса One World. Пожалуйста, размещайте ручную кладь под сиденьем впереди стоящего кресла или на свободной багажной полке. Не допускается размещать ручную кладь. Дамы и господа, мы рады приветствовать вас на борту самолета авиакомпании S7 Airlines, участника альянса One World. Пожалуйста, размещайте ручную кладь под сиденьем впереди стоящего кресла или на свободной багажной полке. Не допускается размещать ручную кладь у аварийных выходов, проходах самолета и за последними рядами кресел. Please stow your hand luggage under the seat in front of you or in the overhead compartments. All emergency exits and aisles in your area must be clear of any hand luggage. We would like to inform you that smoking and the use of electronic cigarettes is not permitted. Thank you.
This was S7 airline, a Russian airline, Airbus 320. So this was Airbus 320 now. So as you can be able to see, there is two languages, English and the Russian language. So I flew from Moscow to Yakutsk. I want you to watch until the end so that you can be able to see how Yakutsk looks like, how cold it is. It was my first time to see the ice in the airport area. It was my first time to see ice in the apron. Okay, my first time ever. to see ice in the apron. Okay, it was a big challenge. At this time, we were preparing for takeoff. Remember, it was raining. It was raining heavily outside, so we were almost starting for pushback, then takeoff. But it was raining, and it was 9 p.m. in the evening.
Tatiana, Shamil, Victoria. Ladies and gentlemen, this your bus ticket. My name is Valentina. During this flight, we will be attended by cabin members Татьяна, Шамиль и Виктория. Сейчас мы предлагаем вам ознакомиться с использованием аварийно-спасательного оборудования нашего самолета. Now we would like to give you some information about the safety equipment on board our aircraft.
В случае аварийного покидания самолета пользуйтесь выходами, расположенными в передней, средней и хвостовой частях самолета.
In case of emergency evacuation, use the exits located on both sides in the front, middle and rear parts of the aircraft.
Выходы обозначены световым табло «Выход». Светящаяся дорожка вдоль прохода укажет направление к выходам.
All exits are marked with an exit sign. The escape path lighting along the aisle will direct you to the emergency exits.
Обратите внимание на выход, расположенный рядом с вами.
Please take a moment to locate the exit nearest to you.
Ваша кислородная маска находится на панели над вами.
Your oxygen mask is located in the unit above your head.
В случае разгерметизации она выбрасывается автоматически.
If necessary, it will drop down automatically.
При появлении маски потяните ее на себя.
Pull the mask towards you.
Плотно прижмите маску к носу и рту. Кислород будет поступать автоматически.
Place the mask over your mouth and nose and breathe normally.
При необходимости помогите надеть маску рядом сидящим пассажирам.
Fit your own mask before helping others.
И если вы путешествуете с ребенком, сначала обеспечьте маской себя, затем ребенка.
If you are traveling with a child, adjust your own mask first, then put a mask on your child.
Каждое пассажирское кресло оборудовано ремнем безопасности.
Each passenger seat is equipped with a safety belt.
Чтобы застегнуть ремень, вставьте металлический наконечник в замок.
To fasten your seat belt, insert the metal tongue into the buckle.
Потянув за ремень, подтяните его по размеру.
Pull the tape to tighten the seat belt.
Чтобы расстегнуть ремень, поднимите крышку замка вверх.
To unfasten your seat belt, lift the metal flap.
Ремень безопасности должен быть застегнут и затянут по размеру во время руления, взлета, снижения, при турбулентности и всегда, когда включено табло, пристегните ремни.
You should fasten your seat belts tightly for taxiing, takeoff, landing, during turbulence, and whenever the fasten seatbelt sign is switched on.
Более подробно ознакомиться с аварийно-спасательным оборудованием вам поможет инструкция по безопасности, которая находится в кармане впереди стоящего кресла. Изучите ее внимательно.
The aircraft safety card in the seat pocket in front of you gives the details of all the safety equipment and exits on this aircraft. Please read it carefully.
Обращаем ваше внимание, что в случае эвакуации всю ручную кладь необходимо оставить на борту самолета. Please keep in mind that in case of evacuation, all head luggage must be left on board. Если вы используете защитную маску, в случае разгерметизации необходимо снять. If you are wearing a protective mask, please remove in case of decompression.
И столики в вертикальное положение. Опустить подлокотники. Открыть шторки на иллюминаторах. Застегнуть и затянуть ремни безопасности. Перевести в авиарежим все электронные устройства с
started taxiing to the runway and ready for takeoff. So outside it was raining. The taxiway was also wet. The runway was wet, so the captain was now taxiing for takeoff. Remember, there was a lot of fog or visibility was there. This is how Moscow is. Moscow, it is raining and it has a lot of fog. It is raining all the time. But in Yakutsk, it is not raining, but it is very cold. So I was going to a place that I've never visited ever before since I was born. This was my first time ever to visit or to land in Yakutsk, an area which is very cold on earth. It is -6 in the month of October. November mostly it is -20, -30 until -47. So that is very big problem, very big problem when it comes to temperature. So we were taxiing to the runway and ready for takeoff. So watch with me. I always tell you, when you book a flight, remember when you reach at the check-in counter, there is the person who is in the check-in counter to give you a window seat. The advantages of the window seat is that you will have a view. You will view the airport, you will view the taxiing area, you will know about the airport, that city, because you will be able to view from the sky. Now this is S7 Airlines, Airbus 320, flying from Moscow, an airport called Demodedovo International Airport, to Yakutsk, one of the cities in Russia, which is to the eastern part. Yakutsk is to the eastern part of Russia, which is very cold city. Everything was ready and we were now ready for takeoff. From Moscow to Yakutsk.
Дамы и господа, мы готовы к взлету и просим вас убедиться, что ремень безопасности застегнут и затянут. Спинка кресла в вертикальном положении. Столик убран. Подлокотники опущены. Благодарим за внимание.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for takeoff. Please ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. Your seat back and tray table are in the upright position. The armrest is down. Thank you.
now took off from Moscow. Airbus 320 now took off from Moscow with a high speed, and now we were heading to Yakutsk airport, which is found in the eastern part of Russia, which is 6 hours away from Moscow. This is how Moscow looks like when you view from the sky. This is how it looks like. Remember, there was poor visibility. So it was even impossible to see again after a few feet from the ground. So there was a very poor visibility, very poor visibility. But we managed to take off safely. Then the captain was flying high and increasing the flight levels. So we were supposed to use flight level 360, which is at 6,000 feet above the ground. So it was a very technical part. Remember, you need to know the technical part. Like now during landing and during takeoff, those are areas that a captain should be very careful, because as part of the analysis, they normally say most of the aircraft, they crash during takeoff or during landing. So this is one of the critical parts that a captain has to be very careful, same time very sensitive and also mindful when he's now taking off or when he's landing. So I managed to capture the wing. There was navigation lights which were flashing on the wing. The engines were on and very powerful, and the aircraft was cruising at a high speed, so you can be able to see. So remember, this is the year 2025 October, and this was my first time ever in history to face Russia. I've never been in Russia before. This was my first journey, and it was so nice for me, because the people of Russia, they are so welcoming, very good people who are able to see other nationals as their own. So I really thank the people of Russia for the warm welcome that you gave me while here in Russia. So this is the video that I really love much. Ensure you watch from the first part until the end so that you can be able to see. After a few minutes, we were served some food by S7 Airlines. They gave us this type of food. You know, for me, I come from a country where we eat ugali, we eat githeri, we eat matoke, Kenyan food. So I've never eaten this food before, but there was chicken. So I ate chicken and I remained with this one. So this one I did eat because I'm not used to eat this one. So S7 Airline, they have a very good food. When you look at outside, they managed to capture outside. Remember, we were highly cruising, so this journey was to take 6 hours, mind you. So I had already flew 5 hours from Kenya to Sharjah, 5 hours from Sharjah to Moscow, again 6 hours from Moscow to Yakutsk. This was one of the toughest time. I've never made a flight of such a long distance. So I flew like 16 hours. 16 hours. 16 hours. It was a very big challenge to me. So you can be able to see. I was the only African on this flight. I was the only African. Imagine being the only African on a flight. This was quite amazing actually. This route, we experienced turbulence. We experienced turbulence almost 6 times. It is a route with a lot of turbulence. It is very tricky flying on this route. It has some turbulence, but we managed to land safely on 7 airlines. So I want you to see the whole of this video so that you can be able to see how long it will be able to take from Moscow to Yakutsk, and how I was treated by these crew members. The crew members of S7 Airlines, they are very nice. They gave me food, they gave me twice, they served me twice, they gave me a lot of water, they gave me a lot of trees, and also they were asking me what do I need them to do for me. So I was so happy because they treated me as one of the visitors from Africa who managed also to fly this airline. Of course, I'm not the first African person to fly on this route, but on this flight, I was the only African man flying on this route. So you can be able to see how Airbus 320 looks like. This is Airbus 320. Some of the passengers that we sat together, they asked me my name. I told them, they asked me also, where do you come from? I told them I come from Kenya, which is found in East Africa. And also they told me, how long will you stay in Russia? I told them I would be in Russia for 2 weeks, but if possible, I would be able to stay for a long time, maybe for 1 month or 2 months, and also learn about Russia, the airports in Russia, the airlines in Russia, how people are associated with each other while in Russia. So this was my response to them. Although they were very happy to have spoken with me. They were very, 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 very happy. So we were almost landing, but we were remaining for a few minutes. So in this area, there were no people, there were no house. So this is Yakutsk. This is how Yakutsk looks like. So Yakutsk, on this area, there was a lot of water, but there were no buildings. So remember, it was now in the morning. Since we started flying at night, it was 9 p.m. Now it is in the morning. We were supposed to land at 9 a.m. in the morning. But remember, I also slept for some hours. I slept for almost 4 hours. So my flight only covered a few hours, but I really slept too much. Flying 6 hours is a challenge. But on my left side, you can be able to see there is no building, there is no people, there is nothing, and we flew a lot of miles without seeing any building. Yakutsk, as I told you, it is surrounded by other countries like Mongolia and other countries around here. Remember, it is to the west part of Russia, one of the coldest areas or regions in the world. So the sun was bright, but down there it was very, very, very cold, -6. So this is S7 Airlines. It was my first time flying S7 airline, one of the best airlines in Russia. This was my first time ever in history since I was born flying S7. First time ever in history flying S7 airline. So we flew a lot of miles, several miles, without seeing any building, any person, any animal. We flew a lot of miles, as you can be able to see. There is nothing down there. Remember, this is S7 airline, Airbus 320, a flight from Moscow to Yakutsk, Russia. Many passengers were busy looking outside on the left side. I thought it was me myself who was much or highly interested in watching outside to see this area or this region of Yakutsk, how it looks like. But a high number of passengers, they were looking outside and checking this place. Very nice. So I was also very happy on this. So remember to watch, remember to share this video to most of your friends so that they can be able to learn more about Russia. Have you ever visited Russia? Or are you willing to visit Russia? If you have ever visited Russia, I request you to type on the comment section and tell us which place have you ever visited in Russia, and how did you notice about Russians? Okay, what did you learn from the people of Russia that it is not found in your country? Either you are an Indian, you are an Arab, you are a Yemenis, you are from the Philippines, from America, or from whichever part of the world. Have you ever visited Russia? And which city or which region have you ever visited? And how did you find these people of Russia? How did they welcome you? And which place that you may wish to visit next? Like now, I have visited two regions, Moscow, which is the capital city of Russia, and also Yakutsk, one of the regions in Russia, which is highly cold. And now those are the two regions that I got an opportunity to visit while in Russia. So in the next time, I will also check about other cities so that I can be able to visit them. I was told that if I could have used a train, it could have taken me a lot of days to reach here in Yakutsk, more than 6 days. So using 6 days on a train is one of the things that are quite challenging. So I was highly shocked when I was being told like that. Most of the passengers, they were going to the washroom for short call, others for long call. So remember, Airbus 320 has three washrooms or 3 lavatories. In aviation, we don't use the word toilet, we use lavatory. So it had 3 toilets. So this was my first time flying S7 Airlines, and also it was my first time to fly what we call Air Arabia. Remember, I used Air Arabia from my country to Sharjah, then from Sharjah to Moscow, and then from Moscow to Yakutsk I used S7 Airlines. So also on my next flight, I will be able to use S7 Airlines, flying from Yakutsk to Moscow. Then from Moscow back home, I will also use Air Arabia. So we were remaining few minutes to land in Yakutsk, one of the coolest airports here in Russia. So we were being told to fasten the seat belt and get ready for landing.
Дамы и господа, наш самолет снижается. Мы прибываем в международный аэропорт Якутск имени Платона Oyunskого. Температура воздуха минус 9 градусов. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and the airport Platon Oyunsky Yakutsk. Temperature 9 degrees centigrade below zero.
Дамы и господа, на время снижения вам необходимо занять свои места, привести спинки кресел и столики в вертикальное положение, открыть шторки на иллюминаторах, застегнуть и затянуть ремни безопасности, убедиться, что все электронные устройства с функцией передачи данных переведены в авиарежим. Убрать вручную кладь электронные устройства, размер которых не позволяет быстро и безопасно разместить их в кармане впереди стоящего кресла. Разместить ручную кладь под сиденье впереди стоящего кресла или на багажную полку. Благодарим за внимание.
Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your seats. Put your seat backs and tray tables to the upright position. Open your window shades. Fasten your seatbelts securely. Ensure that all electronic devices are in flight mode. Switch off and stow large electronic devices which cannot be quickly placed in the seat pocket in front of you. Stow and secure your hand luggage under the seat in front of you or in the overhead compartments. Thank you.
That was the voice from the senior cabin crew member advising the passengers to put their phones in flight mode and also go back to their seats because we were now expecting to land in the next few minutes. So that's a safety statement that was used by the crew member to give what we call an alert. Alert is like area information showing the passengers to sit down, those in the washroom to come out, and also try to fasten their seatbelt and get ready for landing. So from this point, I managed to see some buildings. There was some few buildings, but there was also a lot of ice. So many, it was so cold down there. So from the countries that I'm intending to visit, Russia was number one. So the next country I want to visit is China as number two. Another country in the list is North Korea. another one is South Korea, another one is Philippines, another one is Israel, another one is Lebanon, another one is Iraq. I'm also intending to visit India, and also in India I'm intending to visit various cities like New Delhi, Mumbai, and also other cities which will be able to be in the budget. I will also try to visit other countries like Australia. I will be able to take much time in Australia. I will also try to visit Pakistan. I will be in Pakistan. In Pakistan, I will visit various airports and record most of the videos. So remember, I am an aviation instructor and I'm also a YouTuber. So my aim is to visit most of the airports in the whole world because I am an aviator. I'm an aviation instructor, and we have to visit the whole of this world because we live once and we will die once. So the money that we are making, we have to use it wisely. We have to enjoy with our family and also ourselves. So myself, I have to fly. I have to know the world. Now I have known this city that I've never known before. This was my first time. Imagine, I am over 30 years that I've never flew to Russia. So this was my first time in Russia, and now this was another city that I came to visit, which is called Yakutsk. I'm very sure most of the people in Africa and other parts of the world, it's a few people who have ever visited this city on earth. The city is called Yakutsk. Yakutsk, it is having a lot of students from Africa. A lot of students normally study here. Others work here while they are studying. So it was my best opportunity to visit these areas. So I am intended to visit many countries and also record more videos on these airports. So I also have a friend from Canada. She's a Canadian. Also, she's coming to Kenya soon. Once she arrives in Kenya, we will also fly together to Canada. I will also be able to record most of the airports in Canada, and also I will be in the next 4 months. I will be flying to different countries. So remember, I didn't included countries in Africa. I've been in Malawi. I've been in Somalia. I've been in Uganda. I've been in Ethiopia. I've been in Ghana. I've been in Sierra Leone. I've been in Mozambique. I have been in Rwanda. I've been in Burundi. I've been in Congo. I've been in Benin. I was in Burkina Faso. So the country I haven't landed, but in my list is South Africa. So South Africa, I'm coming. So I will start with. I will be able to start with Johannesburg. Then I will fly to Cape Town. So again from Cape Town, I will come to Joburg. Then from Joburg, I will come to Malawi. I visit my people, my beloved people in Malawi. Then I will be able to take off to Tanzania. So from Tanzania, I will be able to take off again to Nairobi. So that is why I am planning all this, just flying to Africa. All my social media platforms, they have the same name. If you go to Facebook, it is Captain Josephat Keboy. If you go to YouTube, it is Captain JK Mauti. And also in my Instagram, it is Captain Josephat. So remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to watch and also leave a comment. What have you learned from my videos? So I normally record the airports. I normally record the modes of boarding, the way these people are boarding. I also try to record about Do they use passenger bridges? Do they walk? Because in the airport, you can use a co bus, you can walk, or you can use a passenger jet bridge. So these are some of the sensitive areas that I do record so that I can be able to post in my YouTube channel for most of my students to watch. There was a crew member was behind me here. This crew member was a vibe. She was so smart. Remember at the end of the flight, I had to ask her name, and also she had to take my number. When you are now flying, you must be able to know people. You must exchange numbers because we only meet once, so you have to take a number, and also you have to know each other. Okay, so it was so interesting. When I was watching outside, remember, on my left side there were no buildings, but I was able to see a lot of ice. So this crew member was preparing the aircraft to land. I remember for her, she was on her final touches. When we talk about final touches, is a time when you prepare the aircraft, everything, so that you don't leave it. Because as a crew member, you must be very careful. Maybe you must check passengers, because when you tell passengers that fasten their seat belt, they may not do that unless you check, because passengers, they are like kids. So even if you tell them fasten your seat belt, also as a crew member, you must go around and check one by one if indeed they have fastened the seat belt. So that, because in case the aircraft makes an emergency landing and one of the passengers been injured, then it is a very big problem. Maybe you didn't tell them that they have to fasten their seatbelt. So you must tell them, and you must also check one by one. That is the real secret in cabin crew. So if you see a crew member telling you or informing you to do something, remember to do it, because that is her responsibility. That is her or his responsibility as a crew member, because telling you to do that is a calling, or telling you to do that, it is their work. Because if you don't do what they say, then it means you might be able to get a program. Okay, so this is how Russians looks like. That is a Russian cabin crew member. Okay, that's how they look like. This is S7 airline. Actually, I was so happy to be served by the crew member of S7 airline. They were so good people, and I was so happy for this. Remember, it was my first time to use this airline, and from the start I was so happy, because even I was recording the videos, they were like happy. As most of the passengers, they were saluting while I was boarding. So it was a vibe, and I was so happy. So on my left side, I wanted to see there is a lot of crowds. So, but still, we are now flying. We haven't arrived, guys. It was a long journey. To Yakutsk. Something you need to know also is that these aircrafts from Airbus company, they have engines which are more powerful. These engines are so powerful, which can be able to cruise at a high speed, but they use a lot of fuel. You should know that. were almost landing. So this is how Yakutsk looks like. You can be able to see some other areas. So the aircraft was now descending and landing. So as I told you, this was my second city to visit in Russia, and it was my first time to land here. I was warned earlier that this airport is very cold. It was -6. So I never carried the clothes, but one of my friends came with clothes in the airport because he knew that the temperature was very low, and I could have not yet managed to reach the house because the way I was dressing. So this is how Yakutsk looks like. So we were now preparing for landing.
Тянут. Спинка кресла в вертикальном положении. Столик убран. Подлокотники опущены. Благодарим за внимание.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for landing. Please ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. Your seat back and tray table are in the upright position. The armrest is down. Thank you.
After 6 hours in the air, imagine, after 6 good hours, I was now preparing for landing. This area, it looks like a river, so we closed it, then we went to the other side. So the captain was ready for landing. You can be able to see from the wing, it was really ready for landing. So this was my first time to touch down in Yakutsk airport. This is Yakutsk, the city, one of the cities in Russia. It was my privilege to be in this city. Remember, you can be able to see the ice down there. That is the ice. Even some of the parts of the runway, there was an ice. On the taxiway also some ice were available. This was my first time to land here. It was my first experience to see ice while landing. That is ice, as you can be able to see on my left side. You can be able to see that is ice. There is an apron road there. You can be able to see. So it was a very nice view. That's why I normally tell you to always to choose the seat which is near the window side, so that you can be able to watch. Now we landed, as you can be able to see from the flaps. It shows that we have landed. You can be able to see that is a sign that we have now landed when the flaps are being shown like that. Passengers had to clap for the captain for flying us for 6 good hours in the air, and now we landed safely without any problem. So passengers had to show a sign of respect by crabbing to the captain.
Господа, добро пожаловать в Якутск, международный аэропорт имени Платона Oyunskого. Температура воздуха минус 9 градусов. Местное время 9 часов 45 минут. Для вашей безопасности оставайтесь пристегнутыми до выключения светового табло, пристегните ремни. От имени S7 Airlines благодарим вас за полет и будем рады встрече. Благодарим за внимание. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yakutsk, Platon Oyunsky International Airport. The temperature 9 degrees centigrade below zero. On behalf of 7 Airlines, we thank you for flying with us today and we're glad to welcome you aboard again soon. Thank you.
So this is Yakutsk International Airport. This is how it looks like. Also is one of the most developed airports also in this region. So the airline that I used, you can be able to see from the wing, it is called S7 Airlines. The aircraft type, it was Airbus 320. So remember to watch until the end. So we took a lot of time taxiing from the runway to the apron. Then that one, it shows that the airport is very big because you have to take a long distance taxiing from the runway to the apron or to the area or to the stop mark where the aircraft will be able to stop. They will be able to connect a passenger bridge or a mobile stairs, so for us to be able to get out of the aircraft, or in aviation language, to disembark from the aircraft. So we came to the parking. There was another aircraft which was on the left side. I witnessed a human body being loaded in this aircraft. You can be able to see from far that is a human body. It was brought by the vehicle that you see here. There is a vehicle which is here, so it brought the body, it came in reverse, and now they removed the body and they were now rolling. This aircraft is called Yakutia Aero. Yakutia Aero comes from the word Yakuti or Yakutsk. Okay, so now you can be able to see the ice. You can be able to see the terminal the other side. So this is the ice. I was told outside it was a -6. -6, we have never experienced this temperature in East Africa. The lowest temperature that we have ever had in East Africa, it was positive 16. That is the time now we say it is very cold. You have to buy a sweater. But here it is -6. Imagine. It was a big problem. So everybody was removing a bag, his own baggage from the loggerhead, and also ready to disembark to the also to go to the terminal, then get a taxi and they go outside. So this was so amazing. This was so amazing. I was so happy. I landed here for the first time since I was born. Have you ever landed in an airport where you have never visited that place before? Like you have never visited there since you were born. So this was an historic landing. I can call it on my side as an historical landing because I've never landed here. I've never been here before. So this was so amazing and I was so happy. So I was highly waited outside here. Many people were waiting for me and I was so happy because I was landing in this airport for first time and I was highly waited. So I was so happy. I was so much happy. This was a ground handler here. He was pressing the cones. We call them the cones. So he has to place 6 cones. One on the left wing, another one on the right wing tip, another one in the front of the nose, another one from the back of the tape, so as to warn or to show that this is the parking of the aircraft. So I was so happy. I was so happy to record this video. So remember to watch until the end. So an airport which has ice like this one, it has a lot of work. So it needs people to clean this ice. It needs people to clean aircrafts. It needs people to drive here. Roaders, off-roaders, marshals. So it needs a lot of people. Like in addition of the work which is in the airport, it has also its own work, extra work. So cleaning all this ice is not a small job.
Дамы и господа, мы приглашаем вас пройти к выходу. Не забывайте ручную кладь и личные вещи на багажных полках и в карманах кресел. Будьте осторожны при выходе из самолета. Благодарим за внимание.
Ladies and gentlemen, we kindly invite you to proceed to the exit. Please do not leave your belongings in the overhead bins and in the seat pockets. Please be cautious when leaving the aircraft. Thank you for your attention.
So these passengers also, they started wearing heavy clothes and I was like, I don't have clothes. What will I do? I was wearing some open shoes. Everybody was like, hey, I want to survive here with these open shoes. So I thought it was a joke until the time I got out. That is when I realized that this is a challenge. So we were now disembarking slowly we were disembarking from this aircraft from Airbus 320. Now this airport, it is in Yakutsk, so we were now coming out, and more of these passengers, you can see all of them, they are Russians. So I was the only African person, the only African on this flight, so it was an amazing for me.
Я переживала за long time. Not know, but no at home.
So now? Moscow?
Я еще зашла в Совкомбанк.
Moscow, Yakutsk.
Я зашла в банк и свою подзарядку нашла. Я заряжала этот подзарядник. У меня батарейка была, no, помнишь? Мне там 25%. Помнишь? Я тебе, алло, 8%. Я беру money.
Yeah, when they
now getting
plan
out
to
of
send
the
me, tell
aircraft.
you.
Когда Терри приедет?
Thank you so much.
Today, calling
See
again.
you again.
Calling. Hello, today.
Бежишь.
Yeah,
Hello.
Saturday. 25.
today.
Да, я пригласила в home.
Today, Sunday.
Это Ромарика и
On Monday, Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday, maybe.
Продолжается регистрация билетов и оформление багажа пассажиров, вылетающих рейсом 487, Якутия,
My friend, I'm following you.
You need help, bro?
Yeah?
Maybe taxi?
Someone is coming for me, but I think she would be outside here. But you would assist me to call her. Yeah.
There you go, bro.
Пассажир Оконечникова Дарья Владимировна вас просит пройти на центральный вход. Пассажир Оконечникова Дарья Владимировна.
В соответствии с федеральным законом о порядке рассмотрения обращений граждан с обращением на нарушение их прав, свобод и законных интересов. Обращение может...